Hello, welcome in everybody. It is Matrix Inc. On this episode of Ship Talk, we're going over the very first ship of 2026, the RSI Hermes. It's here, 4.6 is here. A very cool ship. It's actually, if you don't know, it's built on the very Apollo chassis. So the Apollo Medevac and the Apollo Triage that just came here in September of 2025. So we're getting an all new variant of the Apollos. It is the RSI Hermes. Super excited to go over it with you guys because I've got all the paints for it. We're going to check out the paints. We're going to check out what kind of ground vehicles it can fit and just how that new tractor beam is going to work with very big boxes and the rear doors. So stay with me. Let's check out the website first and let's get this thing started. All right, so to lose sight of me for a second so you guys get like a better view of the numbers here. Length is all the same. So on the left here, you have the Medevac, then we have the Triage in the center. The new Hermes is on the right. We can't actually compare the three because it's not really considered a variant. But as you can see, you know, all the same things for the Medevac and the Triage, length, beam, height. Now there is a difference with the width of the Hermes here is 58 meters. So basically a 13 meter difference. Now you do have a massive difference in terms of cargo capacity. The cargo capacity on the Medevac and the Triage are both 32. You're getting a massive bump, obviously, because of the removed medical bays and stuff with the 288 SEU for the Hermes. Now, the speeds are actually different in all three. The Triage is 170 meters per second with a 5 meter per second bump to the Medevac, and the same for the Hermes. So 5 meters per second difference on all three. Now when you come down here to avionics, things stay the same. Propulsions, basically everything stays the same in terms of all three, but once we get down to thrusters, this is where the big massive change happens. Now the same are for the both Apollo variants, but you get down here and you show 10 more maneuvering thrusters for the Hermes. So it's the same across in terms of 4x main thruster, 4x retro thruster, 4x VTOL thruster, but you get just 12 maneuvering thrusters, but 22 for the maneuvering thrusters on the Hermes. You get down here to systems, everything's the same, but then we get a next change in the weaponry. Now, this was different between the Triage and the Medevac. Turrets were the same, but you had 4 more missiles with the size 2 missiles in the Medevac versus the Triage. Now, when you get to the Hermes over here, weapons 2x size 4 weapons are the same. The turret actually gets a boost from size 3 to size 4 on the turret, and the 2x8 size 2 missiles. So it differs from the Triage, but it's same as the Medevac in terms of missiles. All right, so to kick things off, I want to show you guys the exterior. To best do that, since I'm at Levski, we don't have the best lighting in the hangars, so I need to show you out here in the light. This is actually the standard paint that comes with the Hermes. Looks really, really good. I actually do like that blue for a standard paint. You have the size 4 turrets on the top. Looks really good. But one thing you're going to notice is the thrusters are very much different on the back. I love the thrusters for one reason is the fin work on the sides kind of give you that classic like Polaris and Polaris feel, like in terms of Perseus Polaris feel. If you remember on the backs of those, they have the fins that come out that look really good. This has a small little touch of that, so kind of cool to me. Now let's check out all the other paints. All right, so to start off, we have the disco paint. This is one of Jared's favorites. I have to agree with him. This is a really, really good one. That red and the blue almost has this like Optimus Prime feel to it. Very, very cool. So now we're on the Honor Bound limited edition paint. This paint's going to be on the store for a limited amount of time. Basically, for the next few weeks, you're going to have a chance to grab this paint up. So if you're thinking about possibly buying the Hermes, this will be one you want to try to grab up while you can. Honestly, a very cool, like military green style kind of paint. So pretty cool. All right, so we're moving on to the lockdown paint. This is kind of a black and yellow style paint, almost like a bumblebee. pretty cool. One thing I forgot to mention, you have this where the window used to be on the Apollos is more of this like brace structure, and you can see some of that yellow right in there. Look how cool that is. Very, very cool. I like it though. Actually, this is a contention to be one of my favorites. This is very, very cool. So everything I just said, take it all back. Look how cool this paint is. We're on the Paragon paint. It's got a white, gold, and blue paint to it. Wow. I honestly did not know that was a really awesome blue. Kind of reminds me of the Kansas City Royals. I'm a big Kansas City guy. This is awesome. Look at that. Wow. Very, very cool. Love it. All right, last but not least, we have the trip line paint. This is the black paint for the Hermes. It's actually more gray than I thought it was going to be, but it's kind of like this combination of black, gray, and white. I do like it. I do like the Paragon better, I want to say, but this is a very good paint. Now, I do have the landing gear up this time. As you can see, the fins come out a little bit further. I love that. Look how cool that is. Looks just like how the Perseus and the Polaris kind of is. Love the way that looks. Looks very cool. Like this a lot. Now, one thing I want to point out real quick is this ship seems to be very loud. I actually have the volume turned down very low, so we're going to turn it up. As you can see, that's a very, very loud ship. So I don't know if that's intended or not, but very loud. Could be an issue council thing. I don't really know. This being the first day of 4.6 going to live, could be something they need to fix. One thing I did not mention, it appears the Apollo paints do not work on the Hermes. I went ahead and bought an Apollo paint to see if I can put it on. It does not show up that I can put it on, so I don't know if that's also intended or not. We're gonna have to see, but as of right now, I think the only the Hermes paints will actually fit this thing. As of right now, the Apollo paints will not fit. All right, so now to check out the interior of the ship, we've got the ramp door open. As you can see, the red light around the ramp looks really cool. Much bigger ramp than the Apollos. Start off, you see your open and close button on the left. You got a fire extinguisher over there on that side. You have your suit locker, your weapon rack. All looks really clean. Looks really good. You got 3 weapons. Looks like for 3 mags, 3 pistols. Same on the other side. You have your components here that open up. With 4.5, it's very important that we have those in these ships. Same on the other side. You have your fuses here. And then on this side, you have the remote tractor beam, which you can actually like change your pips here as well. We'll check that out real quick. Go ahead and power this thing on. All the pips come on. You can change your power management here. Shields, self status, target status, scanning, configuration, communications. You have your diagnostics. So this is also going to be your engineering terminal. So all looks really cool. There's the button to actually enter the turret, but we're going to check that out here in a second. And then all the medical bays are gone. You have this big opening, this big walkway right through the center. You have 144 SCU here, 144 SCU here. This big tractor beam that runs right through the center leads all the way out to the rear ramp, making it easier to get your cargo inside. Like I said, we're going to check out that here in just a second. But let's check out the cockpit area. More components. And then you have your basically the exact same thing as the Apollos. Really not sacrificing anything. You have the 2 beds, you have the kitchen. This here should be a bathroom. Yep, a bathroom, your little kitchen area, your elevator that leads out. You have your buttons here for that as well. Retract rails, send elevator, your co-pilot seat, and your pilot seat. All looks really, really good. Just like the Apollos, we really liked. I think it's the exact same thing. I think this part's actually the same too. And then obviously your big difference in terms of the difference between the Hermes and the Apollo. You have this big opening and definitely a big spot here where you can get your ground vehicle here. So all looks really cool. Let's try actually see what we can actually fit inside this thing. All right, so to start things off, I have the Tumbrel Cyclone here. Now we know this one fits because we've seen it inside the behind the ships video, but to show it off here to you guys, comes right in. If you don't want to jeopardize your cargo, you park it right here. No problems whatsoever, plenty of space. Let's go ahead and move it up, kind of show you how it sits inside the first cargo grid. Seriously, no problem at all. You can definitely get at least 3 on this side, another 3 on the other side. So easily 7 Cyclones, but what I want to show you is what kind of impressive is you can easily turn this thing around inside the ship, no problem. You don't have to even back it up. Fits really, really well. So that's really impressive for me so far. So that looks pretty good. Let's try something else. So we're going to quickly get into the what will not fit. Now I know people's going to be asking about the MFC and the MDC, if they fit or not. Although it's really close in terms of like they could have almost made it happen. We're going to try the MTC first. I know the MDC will not fit because I cannot get the turret to go down. So we'll try the MTC and I'll show you guys just how well it works. Let's try this here, spin it around, and immediately you can already see the ramp is going to be a little bit small. You got the tires hanging off on the sides. It almost looks like it's going to fit, but we immediately start to hit. The wheels are going to be too wide. So the MTC, the MDC, and the future MFC is not going to be fitting. All right, now the one that everybody's going to want to know, that everybody asks, the first thing that when a new ship comes out, will a Ursa Medevac fit? We're going to try it. I think it's going to be close. I know if you had to, and if it doesn't fit, you can just actually blow off the wheels on this thing. And I know it'd fit then, but let's see if we can actually try to get it in with the wheels. All right. Take our time. It's much like the MFC or MTC, doesn't quite want to go in there. It's so close. Can we finagle our way in this thing? Definitely doesn't want to. I had it a little bit closer a second ago. If we can make it happen. This thing is being very, very weird, wanting to hop around on me. Oh, we're gonna get it. Let go. It just will not. It does not want to go. So there we go, skipping around the hangar. All right, Ursa will not fit, but if you were to throw those, be able to get those wheels off there, you definitely can make it fit if you actually had to. So everybody wants to always make their ships have a med bay, and I think the only way you're getting this thing in is if you take the wheels off. So the more you know. All right, so now the ultimate test, we're going to be trying out the tractor beam and trying to see how the cargo grid actually feels with the smallish rear door. So as you can see, we're going to start from small all the way to big. We have the 1 SCU, the 2 SCU, the 4 SCU, the 8 SCU, the 16 SCU, and the almighty 32 SCU. So we're going to try these from smallest to biggest and see how this goes. All right, so we're on the remote tractor beam. Like we showed earlier, we're going to power this thing on. Oh, powered it off. The screen wasn't on. Screen is on. We're going to hit the turret. All right, we need to hit W to go forward. It lets me. There we go. All right, all the way down to the rear. We're going to turn on our tractor beam and bring it in close. Now we should just go backwards. Comes right through this way. And we'll put it towards the back. Now tractor's beams can be a little bit sensitive. I'm never really quite the pro with them, but that was actually pretty smooth for 1 SCU as to be expected. So let's go back and try the 2 SCU. Got her close to me. Oh yeah, perfect. Not a problem at all. I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to be with the bigger one with my guy standing right there in on the kiosk. Not bad. The problem I'm having is with normal tractor beams, so just a little bit sensitive. We're actually hitting S to go back, so S to go back, forward and backwards. We have the 4 SCU, shouldn't be too much of an issue. Bring it close to me. Remember, you can rotate if you need to. A little bit of a hit, but not bad. That was more my fault than anything, so bring it right over here. Super simple actually, so not bad at all. So that was the 4. Let's go to the 8. Even sitting kind of cockeyed, it wasn't actually bad. Didn't struggle too much with that. Let's keep it over here to, oh, came off. Keep it over here to this side. Put all our small boxes over here. Not bad. S to go back. All right, now this is where things get interesting. We have the 16 SCU next. Bring it close. Let's go try to rotate it before it gets this way. Try to make it simple for us. Don't want to go too cockeyed. Go S back. And it actually works out really well. All right. Take it over here to this side. That's really not bad at all, guys. All right. Back for the next one. Oh, we need to rotate. This is where we get into some issues. It's not gonna fit. All right, that was total my mess up. I hit S way too soon. I was meaning to hit R. So go right back. Hit R. We want to rotate. Rotate these big boxes. Take a little bit. Let's go a little bit further out. Rotate. All right, get this thing a little bit closer. We're almost there. All right, bring it in. Let's see how this goes. This is what I'm most interested in. How's the 32 SCU going to be? S. Wow, okay. Shockingly good. Now, I just hit S because I'm used to wanting to do that. Wasn't supposed to do that, but still, you can actually hit it from this way too, so... a little bit of practice for me, but honestly, it's really not bad. All right, so that works out really well. All right, guys, so time to wrap things up, kind of show you guys what I think. A very good ship. I've always liked the Apollos to begin with. The fact that we're getting the Hermes now, that's more for cargo and more of this kind of style of like gameplay that I like. I don't really know if medical gameplay is for me, but to see it actually as a cargo ship, I do like. Now, some may be wondering if is it really worth it? You could have a raft for about $30 cheaper but it only has 192 SCU, but it's much easier to load because all that is like open. You can easily load it up. Now, I didn't seem to have a problem loading this thing. I like the tractor beam. The door didn't seem all that bad, and it was actually just big enough to actually make it work. I'm sure it's going to be much easier to load a raft. For me though, personally, I'm looking at it as those that own the Zeus, and as of right now, it would only cost you like $25 to upgrade. War bond wise, I know it's a little bit more if you do the standalone. So personally, if I'm a Zeus owner, I'm really considering, do you want to make that upgrade? It kind of depends on you and your style of gameplay. Now, if you have, let's say, 3 people that two other people that you want to run with, 3 as a group. What's nice about the Zeus is you have the 3 seats in the front, and you have plenty of seats there for a 3-man group. Obviously, that would become a problem with the Hermes. It's really only fit for 2. You have the 2 seats up front. Technically, yeah, you can make it work where one sits in the bed or the chair. So technically, yes, you can make that third, but let's all face it, you want to be in the cockpit, you want to be flying. You actually want to have that feel of flying around the verse and whatnot. So that would be my biggest downside if you're going to go from Zeus to Hermes. I do like the Hermes though. The Hermes is good. You know, we had the problem with the Zeus with the rear door being a little bit too small, and the 120 SCU kind of tough to work that cargo around. So I'm, as a Zeus owner, really thinking maybe I should make that into the Hermes. So RAF though is really good. It just actually got a bump increase to like 190. So it used to be 125. Now it's 190. So it's a lot closer to that Hermes. I like it though. They're all really good ships. Hermes, I think a lot of people's going to enjoy. I think it's going to take a little bit for them to come around to it, but that tractor beam I do like. Looks really, really good. Clean lines. Love the paints. I loved all the paints. All the paints are great. If you're possibly going to buy it, might want to add that limited edition paint while you still can. So can't really fit a lot of ground vehicles. I know it got the Cyclone. You're not getting much bigger than that. Yeah, it's going to fit the PTV and the STV and the UTV and all your like motorcycle style kind of ground vehicles and whatnot. But anything really bigger than the Cyclone, you're not going to fit it. Even the Ursa. I know we tried the Ursa Medevac. You're not going to get the Ursa in there, the regular one. So if you guys are watching other ship talks, you definitely want to see like what kind of giveaways we're doing. We are going to be dropping one about a paint bundle. So definitely go find those. I want to say, guys, thank you all for watching. You all the best. And until next time.